What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my wife's Durango. So she was telling me that she has a check engine light on and she had it checked at the shop and they said it was a bad thermostat. So we're going to go ahead and just do a double check on it real quick, and just to verify we already got the parts and stuff like that for it, and then walk you guys through changing the thermostat out. Alright, so we're going to move this cover. We're going to pull this off, and this should just pop right off. Just like so. It's going to have these little spots right here. It'll pop right down on. Alright, we've got to get the air tube out, which is going to be a straight screwdriver here, clamp holding onto the throttle body. I think that's going to be your air intake temp, I think. And then we're going to come over here to our air filter box and should have these little clips right down in here. I'm going to pop those just like that. Got a little safety clip on there, just like everything does nowadays. Just pop that out. Wheel that around, pull that up. Looks like we got a little clip here. It's a little Christmas tree for the wiring. Got a little plug down there. What else we got here? Alright. It's going to be like your evap stuff. Looks like that's just going to slide right off of there. Like a little rubber grommet, just like that. And this should be good. Pull our intake tube off. Very gracefully. There we go. Alright, there's our thermostat. Right here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a tray out, and we'll get this draining. Right down here is going to be your petcock for your radiator. Pop our cap off to let it breathe. Alright, we'll let that do the drain thing, and then we'll go ahead and start pulling this off. These are going to be two 10 millimeters, top and bottom, or you can use a Torx bit on them. Pair of channel locks or pliers, or this proper tool for these, which I don't have. Alright guys, it's that easy. It came off real easy. I guess I'm not seeing anything in here, but the computer says it's bad, so it must be bad, because that's what cars do now, is tell you what's wrong with them, right? So we're going to go ahead and get this mating surface cleaned up right here. If you got anything on your belts, make sure you get it off. When you're done, it wouldn't hurt to spray it down with some water just to make sure that you get everything off your belt. I will be doing that. So there's two different ways that you can order this. There's this one right here that comes with the whole housing and everything, or you can take your old one and you can buy a rebuild kit for it, which is pretty surprising these days because nothing's rebuildable. So the kit will come with a new ring here, a new spring, and a new thermostat, and a new O-ring. And what you would do is he's got these little clips right here. You would push this down, rotate it, pull that out, pull the spring out, pull the thermostat out, clean that all up, put it all in. The wife just picked this up, so that's might be all our store had. I'm not sure. So when you put this back on, just take a little bit of your fluid, just kind of run it around your O-ring. Like so. Now when you first put this on, your gasket's going to protrude a little bit. This one it doesn't quite, but what you're going to have is this is going to stick out a little bit, so it's going to pull it away from your intake. Now this is just a plastic intake, so when you tighten these up, just tighten them up a little at a time, couple here, just till that housing gets brought up there tight. You don't want to bring it up, you know, kick it off sideways, tighten up one side. Just bring it up together till that O-ring compresses all the way. You'll be able to see it right there come up flush to the intake, and then you'll feel it get tight. These aren't going to be very tight. I don't know the specs on them, but I'm guessing they're going to be probably 18 foot-pounds maybe. It's a plastic housing, so you know, don't give it all of it, just give it some of it. And that's it. So we'll start throwing this back together. What we're going to do too is these come with these little vents. So we're going to pop that open. Okay. Now you don't have to take this all the way out, because it'll have like a little groove right there that it'll be able to breathe through. So we're just going to crack that open about like that. So when we add our fluid back to it, that's going to allow that to come up. So as you start seeing fluid coming out of that, you should be pretty well good. Go ahead and shut that off. Finish filling up your radiator. All right, so now what we're going to do, we got this all back on, hose on. We're going to go ahead and put our fluid that we just pulled out back in. We only lost a couple drops when we pulled the hose off, so we shouldn't have to put anything in it, but I do have an extra gallon just to make sure. So we're going to fill this up till we start seeing a little bit of fluid coming out of here. We're going to tighten that up and then finish filling. Make sure your petcock is closed. See it bubbling down there? There it goes. So that should be pretty well burped out of there now. Let's close that off and then finish filling, and then we'll tighten it up. So we can't get it all into the radiator, so we're going to go ahead and put it into the overflow. That's just a rubber O-ring on there, so it don't need to be cranked down. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and throw our intake back on, and we'll test it up and burp it. Pop that down into that grommet. Push your red safety back down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear the codes, and we'll start it up and let it burp out. All right, we're just gonna make sure that the radiator is topped off. Make sure you're using the right coolant. You don't really want to mix the coolants. I mean, for the most part, coolant's coolant when it comes to in an emergency, but it will kind of gel up and make it nasty. So ours, you know, ours is for a Ford Chrysler GM. It's the oat. So you have a HOT or an oat. So it's the right color. And it was right there at the top. We barely put any in. It was probably a waste to even open it. All right, that's gonna do it for me, guys. It's been running for a little while. We got heat, everything is good. Seems to be burped out really well. So hope you guys got something from that. If you did, make sure you guys go down and hit that like button. And hey, while you're down there, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button. And we'll catch you back here next time on Factory Rack Garage. Later.